Do it over there.
All right. This meeting started. At this time, we will call this meeting to order. May I have a roll call, please?
Trustee Pfeiffer.
Here.
Trustee Doro.
Here.
Trustee Myers.
Here.
Trustee Wallschlager.
Here.
Trustee Connor.
Here.
Trustee Ledke. Here. President Vanderstone.
Here. If you'd all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Trustee Wallschlager.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This time, anybody that would like to speak in public comments can step towards the microphone on the podium here. Public comments. Seeing as it does not appear anybody is wanting to speak in public comments, we'll go to our first item, which is a presentation from WILEAG of accreditation plaque to the Hartland Police Department.
Big plaque, I'll tell you that. I think some of you recognize me. I was here 4 years ago when the department had accreditation procedure. My name is Stan Stojkovic. I'm a professor of criminal justice and criminology at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. I also sit as a commissioner on the Wisconsin Law Enforcement Accreditation Group, and they oftentimes ask me to come out to communities to present the plaque and the affirmation of the efforts of your local police department, in this case, the Hartland Police Department, which has done an outstanding job. Many of you probably remember Bob Rosh, former police chief who was an active member in WILEAG as well. Bob was our treasurer for a number of years. Good man, and I think your current chief, Chief Misko, who's actively involved in WILEAG at a professional level as well, is a great representation for the community of Heartland and the kinds of things that you're trying to achieve with your police department. He's done a fantastic job and will continue to do that. You're lucky he's young, you see, so he can hang around for a long period of time. So just a few comments, and then I'd like to present the plaque to the chief. WILEAG was actually started in 1995 by some really progressive police chiefs in the state of Wisconsin, and the Wisconsin Police Chiefs Association really got behind it in the late 1990s. The idea of law enforcement accreditation has actually been around for about almost 35 years. The Commission on the Accreditation of Law Enforcement Agencies, or CALEA, has been around since about 1984. Wisconsin and many state agencies, or states, period, started accreditation movement in the mid-1990s because CALEA was just too expensive for most police departments, especially small police departments who didn't have the resources. And we're talking potentially $10,000 to get accredited, and that was just way too expensive for most of our police departments. In Wisconsin, we have about 550 police agencies, most of which are fewer than 10 police officers per agency. So they're fairly small. They don't have those kinds of resources. So WILEAG was created by two progressive police chiefs in tandem with the Wisconsin Chiefs of Police Association. Those two chiefs were Eric Slomka from the South Milwaukee Police Department and Dave Steingraber from the Menominee Falls Police Department. They got me involved in 1998 when I said, you know, I'm really not interested in this. I'm more of a corrections guy. I don't have a law enforcement background. And they said, no, we want you to be part of this process. So I'm now the longest serving tenured WILEAG commissioner since 1998. I've been on the commission, and I've made these presentations across the state to groups like you who represent the community that you serve. And the police department is incredibly important because in most communities, police departments take up a major portion of a local budget. And as a result, you want to make sure that your agency is professional going forward. So WILEAG was created. We have today now, we're under our 6th edition, 242 standards to be fully accredited. It's not an easy process, as the accreditation manager and probably your police department can attest. very time-consuming. It's a continuous effort. Accreditation is not something you do and then you forget about. It's a daily thing. It's like working out. You know, if you stop working out and then you decided to take a 6-month hiatus, guess what? You'd have to start all over again, right? The same is true with professional commitment to a set of standards. So we have the 242 standards, the 6th edition. We're very proud of it. There are about 45 to 46 agencies out of 550 that are actually accredited in the state. So that's fewer than 10%. But that's only one of our programs. We also have a core verification program, which is 49 standards. And that's meant for smaller police departments or those departments who are seeking fuller accreditation, but they want to start at a slower process. So we're very successful with that. We have 36 agencies that are involved in that. So total, we have about 80 agencies. We're not going to rest at WILEAG until we get 550 agencies certified, because accreditation is really about professional behavior and setting a code of conduct and standards. And there are very few police departments like Heartland who have done this tremendously over a number of years. So you should be very proud of your police department. So that's really who we are and what we do, and we meet and we accredit these agencies, and it's thorough. And as Chief Misko will attest, it takes a lot of time, and it's a lot of effort, and the accreditation managing your department deserves a lot of credit as well. So I would ask the chief to come forward, and I'd like to just read this to you and provide this plaque. You can see it's a fairly large plaque. It says, "Be it hereby known that the Hartland Police Department has fully demonstrated its voluntary commitment to law enforcement excellence by its compliance to a body of standards deemed essential to the protection of life, safety, and rights of citizens it serves, and has exemplified the best professional practices in the conduct of its responsibilities, and therefore is hereby, upon the recommendations of the members of the governing board of the Wisconsin Law Enforcement Accreditation Group, awarded this certificate of accreditation, effective the 13th day of December 2021, and is recognized as a Wisconsin accredited law enforcement agency for a period of 3 years, and signed by our president, Mark Ferguson, who is the police chief in Glendale, Wisconsin. Chief, congratulations.
Thank you. Photo or put the board in the background?
Sure.
I'd just like to briefly thank Stan for coming out. This is obviously a huge effort by us. It's awesome that the WILEAG Board of Governors and Commissioners, they come out and recognize that and talk about that. And I appreciate the history, some of which I wasn't even familiar with. As Stan sits here as the longest serving commissioner, you also have me as the shortest serving commissioner, as the newest commissioner, at just being appointed last month to the group. So thank you again, Stan, and I appreciate all the work you've done with WILEAG over the years.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is consideration of a motion to approve the village board minutes of the January 10th, 2022 meeting. It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from our last village board meeting. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. The next item we have on the agenda is a consideration of a motion to approve the vouchers for payments in the amount of $213,521.43.
I make a motion to approve the vouchers in the amount of $213,521.43.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the vouchers. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
Abstain.
That motion is carried. Now we have, who's got a printed packet? I need to read this. We have the consideration of a motion to approve operators, bartenders licenses. This is for Sarah Rebecca Rennekamp.
I'll make a motion to approve the bartender's operator's license for the said bed.
A second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve that operator's bartender's license. Any discussion? Trustee Ludke, is your mic muted? Just checking.
Testing, 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 testing. Maybe it's just not working. I can yell.
Okay,
I'll get out my mom voice.
yeah, we do have a motion for that bartender's license.
Motion and a second.
Now it's on.
That was seconded, Jeff.
It was, yep, we got a motion.
Yes, sir.
Any discussion?
No, sir.
Sorry, I just wanted to make sure that everybody's catching the audio. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. The next item we have is an arcade license. This is for Sweet Dreams Guppy's Game Room at 540 Hartbrook Drive. Plan of operation submitted states the arcade will include 15 arcade games.
I'll make the motion to approve the arcade license for Sweet.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the arcade license. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion is carried. The next item we have, the next item that we have on the agenda is discussion and consideration. This is all coming to us from the Plan Commission, the January 17th Plan Commission meeting, these next two items. Discussion and consideration of site and building plans for construction of storage units for Stor It Right, Heartland at 440 East Industrial Drive. I just want everybody to know that the correct address is 440 East Industrial Drive.
Thank you.
I guess I've heard some different things as, we don't know what's underneath that land there. It's been around for a long time, and I've heard it was a garbage dump. There's a lot of things that were stored under there. I don't know. I wish, is there somebody that knows?
We went over that on the Plan Commission, and nobody, one person was able to go back, I think it was Mr. Bierman, went back to, I want to say, the late 80s, and we had no idea either. That was brought up, but we didn't find anything.
Yeah, it was brought up that the site to the west of there was possibly a pit or where things were dumped, but the property where this would be was believed to be a driveway into that area.
President, can you just confirm the address again on the executive summary and the business plan of operations submitted? It has 420 East Capitol Drive, which is what's on the agenda, but you're correct, and when you read the application fee was 440 East Industrial.
The address is 440.
440, thank you, sir.
Yep. Does anybody else want to participate in discussing anything regarding this item?
I'd be a little curious to know what the Plan Commission said about it. I mean, I kind of feel, I'd like to know a little more.
Yeah, coming up from Plan Commission, the only thing that came in where there was, two things that I know of where there was some issues was they asked about the land underneath. So the dirt underneath, is it dirty, is it not? I wasn't sure exactly where that all came from because it may have been close to something, but it's been built on it. But those concerns were brought up. One person wanted to make sure that there was, they had mentioned it to me after the meeting, but they wanted to make sure it was ventilated enough. Where a facility like this, the state actually would approve the ventilation, and the state would decide for them and us how that needs to be. This is larger than normal. They call it mega storage. So this is for like boats and things of that nature where someone would back their recreational boat in there. It is climate controlled. Those were some of the things that came up. People were wondering, is it okay if boats are going to be in there? If they have, get kind of an overview from the person requesting this project, that all of those things meet the state guidelines. That there also is a backup generator that will be getting installed at this property. Some people found that to be, they just had some concerns that it might be too intrusive because it is near the street line. The person putting in the storage, this facility, wants people to know that there's backup, electricity. That came up, we talked about it. Typically, the village would mandate that be screened and not seen. So the applicant is requesting that it can be seen a little bit because they believe that it's a selling point that people know that this has battery, you're not gonna be without power because of the generator. And we talked about that a little bit. It is in the industrial park, so, but those were the things that I recall that were, that came up that were the most important to the board.
I was just going to mention the generator being put in front. They have been in business a lot longer. Obviously, I don't know their business, but I still think that's odd. And for a selling point, that could just be in the brochures or, have a sign somewhere that says, we have backup generator. But to put it right in front, to me, it would look odd. I still question that.
Point of information, I just wanted this item also, and while we do have discussion on it, just so everybody knows, it was sent by the Plan Commission with the intention of requesting approval, or hoping that the village board would approve and that the continued steps would be taken, but it was voted on and approved by the Plan Commission.
Yeah, I would agree. I have the trust in the Plan Commission. My hesitation was just questioning the address. So at this time, President, I'd like to move, actually, you're not looking for a motion, just discussion and consider. I'll move to approve the site and building plans for these storage units for Stor It Right at 440 East Industrial Drive.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the conditional, is that your motion, is that for the conditional use?
Yes, sir.
Just making sure. Okay, so for the conditional use permit for the, sorry, I got ahead of myself.
Well, it will be.
The site and building plan.
Site and building plans.
Sorry, my apologies for the confusion I'm creating. This is for the site and building plans at 440 East Industrial Drive. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion is carried. The next item we have is consideration of a motion to approve a conditional use permit for the operation of an arcade for Sweet Dreams Guppy's Game Room at 540 Hartbrook Drive.
I'll make the motion to approve the operator permit.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve that permit. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion is carried. Now we have other items for consideration. The first one being discussion regarding regulating mobile food vendors. I've had at least one request asking to table this. I leave it up to the board.
I actually was requesting it to be tabled because I didn't think this would be back on the agenda quite so quickly. I thought that we were going to get the original policy and then the most recent policy to give us a little time to look through it all, a little longer time. So I'm requesting that it be tabled at this time.
Second that?
Fine.
That was a motion?
Yes.
Okay. The intent was that that be a motion, and it's been seconded, so we have a motion on the floor to table this item until, should we just postpone until we decide to bring it back up? Or what was your intention?
I would say, yeah, at least postpone it for a month.
Okay, so the postponement would be till February 28th village board meeting. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. Now we have, we got one. Kelly, can you come here for a second? Can you come up? Can you come up? Second. We're confirming a last name. We have considerations of motions to approve appointments to the Ice Age Trail Committee, which is Ashley Widowski and Mark Reiner. Someone is just checking Mark's last name to make certain that that's correct. I'll leave it up to the board, and if they want to push it off, I know that the Ice Age Trail Committee's been asking to get this done. I'll leave it up to the board. Otherwise, we could table this until our last item, if we can pull the name.
I would say table it, see if they can get it today. If not, then we postpone it.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to table this reading of these names for Ice Age Trail just until the end of this meeting, before announcements, obviously, or, you know, even before we go into closed session, but to give some time for that to be checked on, and make sure we got the name correct, or the spelling correct. The next item that, oh, I'm sorry. All in favor of tabling? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. The next item that we have is consideration of a motion to appoint Dave Lamaran to the Hart Commission. Typically, this has been trustees or the village president that's been on Hart. Delafield has started moving towards having citizen, not started, they've been doing it for a while that way. They kind of contacted me and asked why Heartland doesn't have more citizens as opposed to just the elected officials on. With his finance background, him knowing the village, and knowing that there's gonna be some other changes that need to be made on that board, I felt that that was a good one. That doesn't mean that that's mandated, it just means that it's put before the board. The board could decide to go a different direction or approve.
Make a motion to appoint Dave Lamaran to the Hart Commission.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to appoint Dave Lamaran to the Hart Commission. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Nay.
That motion is carried. The next item that we have on the agenda are items related to cable TV, our cable TV director. This is a consideration of a motion to change pay grade for cable TV director from a grade 5 to a grade 8, and to direct the administrator to look into a proper raise for the cable TV director.
This was brought up last year. I just want to make sure we can put him in a range that suits where we discussed possible pay for him. So that would be in that range, and then just direct me to go through and give an appropriate raise based off of that pay scale.
I absolutely make the motion to change the pay grade of the cable TV director from grade 5 to grade 8, and direct the administrator to look into a proper raise for the cable TV director.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to look into a raise for the cable TV director, and to change the pay grade from a grade 5 to a grade 8. Good? Okay. Oh, no, I thought. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. Next item we have is to recognize our cable TV and AV director, Ben Nelson, who most times none of you see, but now you will be able to see him. If you'd like to step forward and go to the podium and let people know what's going on behind the camera, it'd be appreciated. We thank you for all you do.
Hi, my name is Ben Nelson. I've been working for the village for quite some years, but always kind of behind the scenes, so it's a little funny just to be up here at the microphone instead of behind a camera or something. As you all know, this last year we did a major remodel of the village boardroom that we're in, and that included a significant technology upgrade, microphones, remote controlled cameras, all that sort of thing. We're streaming live on YouTube. We can track how many people view. We've got the ability to do a lot of different things now, which is really pretty exciting. It's also a lot less work to set up for broadcasting meetings, which also means it saves taxpayer dollars in terms of labor, the time that has to go into this sort of thing. It also opens up the ability for that I can be available for more different things. So if any of the village board members or any of the departments, if they're looking for a hand with a special project, just recently we just shot a little video over in Nixon Park with the dedication of the ice rink. I'd certainly like to do more of that sort of thing. So feel free to come to me if you've got ideas on more new, different ways that you'd like to be able to use our broadcasting, our media, photography, anything like that. But thank you very much. It's always nice to get a little appreciation, even if most of the time I'm kind of behind the scenes, just trying to be quiet and do my job. So thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Ben. Yes, thank you for all
And
your
real quick,
Thank you very much.
you do the filming of the parades, you do the concerts. What else do you kind of help out that people may not recognize?
Yeah, those are some of the major things. And in the summer, we do the concerts in the parks. We do the parade. There's Christmas time. We've got the caroling and the tree lighting, and just kind of different general public events. A lot of times there's people that simply aren't able to make it to an event, or for example, let's say you're just in the parade. The downside of that is you don't get to see the parade from the side of the road and all the other floats going by. So we like to be able to provide those services to the community.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Ben.
Thank you.
The next item that we have is discussion and consideration of a motion to approve a fireworks contract with Five Star Fireworks Company.
Good evening. My name is Kelly Yogers, Recreation Director for the Village of Heartland. I received a phone call on Thursday from Tim Heineke from Five Star Fireworks Company. His company is the company that always does our show for us every year. He was calling to inform me that he was told he was going to have a increase in shipping for the fireworks. He ships them, they come over from Japan. He wasn't quite sure how much of an increase that is going to be. He is estimating about 20%, but he won't know until it's shipped. He needed a contract signed to put order in for the fireworks. I asked him, well, if we have 17,000 for everything, are we going to have a good show? And he said yes. It'll be kind of like last year's. It'll be more intense versus like drawn out. It'll be shorter towards more like last year's. I think last year's was like 5 minutes shorter than the normal, but whoever was there remember how intense it was. He said there's a few things he can take out, he can switch. He said he would stay in communication with us and see what that increase would be, but keep in touch to tell us what was happening with the fireworks and everything.
Know what the shipping charges were last year, like the 20% number, is that on top of what?
He said it would be, he's estimating 20% to the 17,000. So it'd be, what, about 3,400 additional to the 17,000. He never breaks it up for us to say, okay, this is how much labor, this is how much the fireworks, this is how much the shipping is. He's never done that for us. I can certainly ask for that, but it's always usually in a lump sum of the 17,000.
So essentially, the village wouldn't get the same show as last year for the same amount of money. It would be a little bit shorter, intense.
More intense. He said there's some things he can switch in and switch out. He'd do the best that he can, and when he does know what the cost would be, he would let us know.
Is he You saying 20% at the max or just a?
Estimate, he does not know yet. He just wants a contract so he knows he can order the fireworks and will,
He wants a contract for 17,000 plus 20%, or a contract?
just for 17,000
For
right now.
17,000.
Yeah, we brought it to you just in case.
Exceed 17,000.
Yes, both ways. I mean, we would have brought it to you anyway, but also to get your opinion. It's a great show. It's probably one of the best around, and I just want to make sure whatever we do, we
And
continue.
he wants to address this now so we get the supplies, because I think we all know that supplies are not being shipped and as convenient as they have been in the past.
Get
He wants
nothing
to
but
get this on the
compliments
boat.
from the fireworks. I mean,
Fantastic.
it's just outstanding, and then people come say, hey, it was great, do it again, you know, it's like, it's other, you know, shipping is gonna be a problem for everybody, and, you know, we'll do these big construction projects, and there'll be a 10%, just in case fee, and, maybe the 20% is, you know, hey, it's a shot, but, boy, I'll tell you, it sure is a great presentation, I wouldn't wanna lessen it.
And knowing Tim for the last, how many years, since 2012, he's always done a good job. His communication with me has been exceptional. He's always been upfront and, you know, he always sends the show to me. I have no idea what I'm looking at, but he's always done it. I think he's always done a good job. He'll come through for us.
So just to clarify, you said, I mean, I get it, the 20% increase, but you said the intensity and the length is gonna be less than last year or similar
It'll
to
be
last year,
similar.
which was
It'll be
last-
similar.
last year
He'll
was
he'll
the-
tweak it.
Okay.
He'll tweak it. He's gonna see what he can do. So.
Just wants a check for 17?
No, he wants
Or
a contract
appro-
that
a
says we are
contract
gonna
for
pay
17,
him.
I mean, but, yes,
Yeah.
contract for 17, and then it could fluctuate by 20% is what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah, we'll talk to him and obviously bring it forward to you guys.
Well, I guess that's the point. We can go forward and tell them we're gonna do 17,000, what is it, and see what that gets us. Or we can say we want the same show as last year, up to X dollar amount. I mean, there's a couple different options. Just depends what the board wants to do.
Like I said, it's a great thing. I think we should just go for it. It's one thing that we really shine at.
Just the shipping cost, not the whole.
When you say go for it, just the 17,000? The
For the contract, and
that's what
then the fluctuation, we can decide, because it's gonna
Saying-
bring it back to us. So either that, or if we say 17, then he's gonna subtract and tweak things to get it at 17, but then I would say we'd wanna know what it's gonna be like if it stays at 17.
Kelly, do you know if once we, sorry, Rita.
No, go ahead.
Do you know, once you sign this contract and get it back to him, then he'll put the order in, then we'll know right away? So we could say, hey, maybe we want to add a little more? I mean, is that something you can ask him?
I believe so. He just wants to get the supplies over here. He gets all of his supplies for numerous shows from Japan and shipped over, so.
Right, so we'd know right away
I
what
should,
the
yeah, I
shipping's gonna
should.
be
Yeah.
once the order's put in. So I mean, I'd feel comfortable doing the 17, and then if something was
Right.
added on, we'd know then. You
Yeah,
could come back to
absolutely.
us then and say, or,
Are you saying the 17 includes the 20% or shipping, right?
yep, because she
Okay.
doesn't know if it's gonna be 20%.
Right.
It could be 50% for all she knows, or it
Yeah.
could be 5% increase.
Yeah,
would agree
20
with
is
the
his
17.
best estimate right now. He won't know until he puts the order in and they say, okay, here's shipping. Shipping for this is gonna be $5,000. You know, 5,000 out of the 17, so it'd be 12,000 for labor and the fireworks, the shells.
Yeah,
But he's-
I'd like you to go back to and ask them what the breakout is,
Mm-hmm.
and then tell them to send you right away when they get the shipping costs, what the breakout will be again, so we can compare what the actual fireworks are gonna be, so we can kind of decide if the show is gonna be
Yeah,
a
absolutely.
lot less.
Or a little less
Right,
based on
right,
cost.
right.
I guess I'm a little concerned about fireworks. I don't know how many people in the room have put them together shows, but labor and the equipment is, I mean, for us to break that out, for us to make those decisions is kind of, I want a good show. I want something perfect, safe and everything. And I think, you know, with the approving the 17,000 and looking at a contingency, coming back with a contingency to make it offset that, I think we should. I'm not concerned with them breaking it out. I mean, hey, how many people you have working, and then how much you're this, how much, you know, we're not gonna nickel and dime, we don't,
It's not nickel and diming, it's asking for how much the shipping is. Otherwise, if they just
Yeah.
send back and say it's 17, how do we know how
Yeah.
much is the fireworks? It could actually be only $10,000 in fireworks and $7,000 in shipping.
but he said it's shipping. He didn't say the fireworks, he said that the freight cost to get it in was 20%. He didn't
Could be
say that.
20%.
He doesn't even know if it's gonna be 20%.
Yeah, he's just saying there's a possibility.
Let's do one at a time, though, to make sure,
Okay.
because people are watching. Sorry. One at a time.
Correct. That is exactly what he's saying, the shipping. So if it's 17,000 that we did last year, that's our total amount we spent last year, 17,000, okay? So part of that was shipping. So maybe it was 5,000 of it last year was shipping. Well, he's saying that's gonna be 20% more this year. So a minimum, or whatever his guesstimate is. So it could be more, it could be less. So we could be still saying $17,000 worth of fireworks, but only 10,000 of it could be fireworks, 7,000 of it would be shipping. That's why I'm saying we'd want to know what the freight chart is.
Yeah, I guess from a breakdown standpoint, it really is just how much is shipping.
Right.
We don't need to know
Exactly.
the labor, we don't need to know.
No,
cost-
nothing
cost
like
per
that.
bang, we just wanna know how much is shipping.
Right, exactly.
Product plus shipping.
Right.
Like what the difference, it'd be important to know what the difference is from last year to
Right.
this year.
We
Right.
should be able to get that breakdown.
Yeah, you should have that.
So is it worthy of having approval of the same contract, the 17,000, directing Kelly to, we want the same or similar show to last year, very good show. We don't want to reduce the quality, and if there is that big of an increase in shipping, what that extra cost would be to have a similar show to a previous year.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the fireworks contract with Five Star Fireworks Company to reflect the $17,000 contract which we had budgeted, with an ability to look at a contingency if need be due to the circumstances, with the hopes of an itemized statement for, so we know what that contingency could look like if it goes up.
I'll second.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve contract with Five Star Fireworks for the 17,000 with a contingency for increased costs that may occur. Discussion?
We're just, though, the motion is just for the 17 at this point.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
I'll make sure.
It's an approval of
comes
the
back to us.
17 with an open door to talk about what increase may come forward.
But hoping that the 17 includes the product and shipping with just minor differences.
That,
We're hoping.
We'll see.
yes, I'm just saying it keeps a door open that it
keeps
would
the door
come
open.
back to the board and be discussed if it comes back that it's, this is hypothetical. Let's say it comes back that last year it was 1,200 for shipping, and this year it comes in at 6,000 for shipping, which means you're getting a $5,000 less show. Then the board can talk about whether they want to increase so that they have a similar show as opposed to a show that is taking a hit because of shipping costs. That didn't make sense, did it?
I got you.
Okay.
Got it.
Exactly what I'm saying.
I just want to say thank you, Kelly and Ryan, for bringing this to our attention. It's really, I mean, we are all aware of the fact that things like this are going up in cost. So I appreciate that the department came together and brought it to us right away so we could discuss it, so we're not kind of hit wham bam,
Yeah.
So, good discussion. Thank you for that.
Welcome.
Any other discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion is carried. The next item that we have on the agenda now is a previous item that was tabled by the board. And that is for the two people for the Ice Age Trail, which is Mark Miner and Ashley Wadowski. These were recommendations of people that have been going to that board. Some of them are actually Ice Age Trail leaders and various other things, but have been involved with that Ice Age Trail committee. And they do come highly recommended by our rec director as well, so.
I'll make the motion to approve the two new committee members as read.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve those two nominations to the Ice Age Trail Committee. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion is carried. At this time, we would have announcements.
Good evening. Just had a couple quick things I wanted to highlight. Sent out in my last week's staff update, we have our Lake Country Citizens Academy coming up. We had taken a little hiatus with that with COVID, and while we work through the COVID issues, we are looking to start that back up here in 2022. It would run March 16th through May 11th. Those are Wednesday nights from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. The Lake Country Citizens Academy is made up from the Lake Country Police Departments, obviously Heartland Police Department being one of those, but the Village of Shaniqua, Village of Pewaukee, City of Delafield would also participate in that program. And it would just highlight different services that the police department has to offer. We'd get you into some different scenario-based training. We get you into some firearms training, some squad car training, just kind of showing you what the police department does on a day-to-day basis. So anyone's welcome to apply. Our age limit's 18 years old, but if they do accompany a parent to the academy, we will make an exception down to 16 years old. But it is open to anyone in those communities or surrounding area that would like to learn more about their local police services. Also, we have our staff interviews for our open police officer position going on right now up in the police department. So we have 3 candidates that are already certified police officers for other agencies that have applied for that position. They'll go through our staff interview process as we speak. Anyone that successfully completes that will move on to our Police and Fire Commission interview, which is this Thursday at 7 p.m.
Thanks, Chief. Anybody else with announcements? Okay. Well, at this time, we have a consideration of a motion to recess to closed session pursuant to state statutes 19.851C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility regarding the interim village administrator, and to reconvene into open session pursuant to 19.85, Section 2, for the purpose of considering any action as may be necessary and appropriate. To go into closed session, it would require a roll call vote. Yeah, no, I'm just saying, I'm not even, yep. And it would need a motion in a second.
I'll make a motion to head into closed session.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to go into closed session for the, under the exemption stated. May I have a roll call vote on that item, please?
Trustee Pfeiffer?
Aye.
Trustee Doral?
Aye.
Trustee Myers?
Aye.
Trustee Wallschlager?
Aye.
Trustee Connor?
Aye.
Trustee Ledke?
Aye.
President Vanderstel?
Aye. Yay. Okay, we'll take a few minutes. Finance Director salary. Been moved in seconded, so that motion is on the floor. At this time, we would have discussion, and I'm going to ask Trustee Connor, can you clarify what you're meaning by stating that, as we were discussing? Just to make sure that we're all clear?
Oh, that it's on the finance director's current salary, not on the combination of the finance director and the stipend.
So the stipend is staying the same?
The stipend is staying the same.
And the salary is increasing?
Correct.
By 3%. I usually, I'm going to do this because I think it's proper to do, because he obviously was not in the room for it. Do you have any questions? You understand what he's saying? Okay. Any other discussion from the board? I'm going to call the question on the 3% for the, I think we should, what is that exact amount? Someone
Yes,
asked us.
it comes out to $2,832.19.86.
Okay.
Since we always carry it out to the fourth decimal in finance.
He's got to double check.
$832,198's a good math, I like it.
Unless anybody has any other items to discuss regarding that motion, I will call the question. It doesn't appear anybody has anything, so I will call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. At this time, I would entertain a motion.
Motion we adjourn.
A second.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn this meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. This meeting's adjourned.